Alrighty. Welcome to my very first Zatsudan. Yippee! So exciting, huh? Oh my goodness. Today has been a very eventful day. I think this has been the unluckiest day of 2025. Like me waking up at like 4 p.m. not feeling so well in the morning. And then the toilets being clogged, spending some time on that. I think like 2 hours trying to unclog it with no luck. My back hurt, my arms hurt, my legs were noodles from standing for 2 hours straight. Played some Valorant games, you know. The first game we played, it went decent, but unfortunately we still lost. And then the second game is where the actual unluckiest stuff happened. Like at first it was going well, you know, we were getting rounds, we were doing well, we were performing as a team. But then I think on the 4th round one of our teammates disconnected, and it was the breach, and I was very unfortunate because it made it a 5v4. Yes, we had the lead, but it was very difficult to defend with 2 duelists, 1 sentinel, and 1 initiator, or like smoke, so it was very difficult. Tried our best, but in the end, you know, it was unlucky that our breach disconnected. It was unlucky that I couldn't hit my shots, but that isn't real unlucky. That's just skill issue at that point. But those days do indeed happen. And you can't do much about them, I'd say. But even if all those unlucky things happen, I won't let them, well, those things, you know, make my mood sour or bad. Because right now, I have a cute cat on my desk that I'm currently petting. Trying to get on my keyboard. Zatsudan from SHIRO, my beloved, yes. Loki, stop biting me. Why are you so aggressive, Loki? No, Loki. Welcome, hype. Yeah. Gonna be just yapping and chatting about random stuff. I wanted to talk about the improvement of my art, what I have been doing outside, you know, touching grass, games I have been playing, you know, some interesting stuff, I would say. Hello, Faye, welcome. I don't think I've seen Faye. I might be wrong. Hello, Tuna, welcome. It's been so long, I think. Like, especially for hype and then also tuna. I might be mistaken. Hope you are doing awesome, my friend. I'll grab some dinner and we'll return shortly. Hopefully. You better. Otherwise, you're gonna have to watch the VOD. Hello, this is the first stream I've seen. Welcome. Anyway, let me just introduce myself then. So, I'm SHIRO. I usually don't do Zatsudan or just chatting streams. I usually draw. And I document it with streams. I post on Twitter. Link is in the description. On Discord, there's also a link. So yeah, if you don't want to miss out on any streams, join my Discord because I do announcements on what I'm gonna stream. Usually in the weekdays I stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 6 p.m. And maybe I want to make an extra stream on Saturday or just talking and then seeing my improvement and just talking about what I can improve. And then just stuff I happen to, see. Anyway, so let's talk first about these pictures I have taken this week. I took them yesterday because I'm trying to go to my grandparents' house at least once or twice a week, usually on Friday and Saturday. I was gonna go today, but I woke up very late and I had a lot of other stuff I had to do. So I decided not to go today, unfortunately. Yeah, so these are pictures from their garden I took with my phone. Because I've been interested in not only in art, but also photography. And looking in the garden, I was like, damn, there are so many beautiful things here. There's flowers, there's trees, there's little random stuff. And I took a couple of pictures. Those are so pretty. Thank you. So this one is a flower from the garden. And I took this one because I was like, okay, let's see. Let's find out a good composition for this, right? Because I wanted to get a picture so I can draw it on paper and then use watercolor. Because I've been experimenting with watercolor as well. A lot with analog stuff now. I used to do a lot of digital stuff, but when I go to my grandparents, I can't bring my entire PC setup. So I just bring my watercolor, my pencil, all of that. And then I've been experimenting with watercolor. And there's a lot that I have to learn, especially when it comes to watercolor, I think. Because it's a totally different mindset, I would say, or thinking. Because in drawing, you have to draw the forms, the shapes, all that stuff. But with watercolor, you have to think about the grouping of the shadow, how the colors will mix, how much water you use, how much pigment you use. And you have also to be patient. You also have to be patient, because you can't just apply a color and then go over it with another color, because it doesn't stack, it doesn't layer. You have to wait until it dries and then you can apply the next color. It depends if you just want to mix or layer, So patience is definitely something you would need for, I would say, watercolor. Like doing photography, no control Z exactly. And you can't even use a transform tool. The transform tool is so useful. Like going to analog, there's like, oh my god, digital has so many useful and bendy, tools you can use for your art to make it, what's it called, to move things around, to transform. I love transform, like, exactly. That's why, like, for digital, I want to stick to only transform, not use liquify or any of the other tools. Yes, they can be helpful, but for me, it's like, like if I can't do it on my own, then I will never learn, especially if I go to analog, you don't have those tools. It will just force yourself to become a better artist, Patience for paint drying is my biggest weakness. Yeah, that's why, digital is very, very much a lot of people's preference, because it's instant. You can do whatever you want, you can tweak, and there's stuff you can do digitally that you cannot do analog, Yeah. I've been interested in photography because I want to learn more about compositions, so I can use the compositions for my art, my illustrations. Like I've said so many times, oh, I'm gonna make illustrations, this and that, but I haven't really made an illustration. I think I've just been studying, but I should probably do like a benchmark on like an illustration and see and apply everything that I learned to actually see what my weaknesses are in art, in illustration, in painting, whatever, because I can't just be like, oh, I'm just studying, I'm just practicing. But for what am I practicing is the thing, to make illustrations, to just draw, I'm trying to get better at that as well. But yeah, these are pictures, I really like this one up close. I tried far away, I tried, a little bit closer, but I think up close can really see the, what's it called, the highlight, and then the shadow area. And the composition is just good. The lighting is good, composition is good. I would say it's one of my better pictures. And over here, this one, I wanted the focus to be on these flowers here, but the focus went onto on this net. And it actually gives off a very nice feeling. Like if this was not in focus, then I don't know. There's just something special about this, I think. Like how the focus is on the net rather than the flowers, And then here, This is a photo from, I think, a peach tree, if I remember correctly. And I just like the flowers sprouting, green leaves, you know. And I love how blurry the background is, so it emphasizes the flower aspect. Like a very nostalgic feel, yeah. This gives me nostalgic feeling, you know. It's like, oh, it's just nostalgic. You can't really pinpoint it, I think. It just gives a very nice feeling. And then over here, this one, I really like, you know, taking pictures up close, you know, having something in the foreground, background, you know. And here I've created a little story, you know. So you have, you know, rock 1 here, then you have rock 2. And I wanted this to be the focus, but I guess my camera just automatically focused on the background for some reason. But it created this nice little story where rock 2 seems very shy to approach rock 1. I don't know, it's just a nice touch, I think. A nice little story you can give to a picture. Then you have this. This is, I think, a compost bin. And I really like the color of it. You know, how it's overgrown a little bit here. And then, you know, the gradient. You have green, you have yellow, you have orange, rustic old feel to it. It feels very friendly, I would say. Storytelling with pictures, so I know, it's very cool. Since you're talking about life, I want to ask, where are you from? Your accent has a tiny bit of French hint to it, I think. Damn. Most people say that I don't really have an accent, so this is a very surprising question. So where I come from, I'm from Belgium, but not the French side of Belgium. I'm on the other side, the Dutch-speaking side of Belgium. Yeah, the next picture is this one. Like, I wanted to play with... For me, SHIRO has an Asian American accent. I see. So for this picture, I was, you know, just looking at the table. Wasn't really, you know, looking for anything specific. But then I saw, wait a second. Shadows are quite nice. Could I possibly make a shape with these, you know, rocks and use the shadow to complete it? And I don't know if you can tell what shape this is. To me, it's pretty obvious, but to some people, it might not be. But I thought it was a very nice, subtle gesture. Thought Asian accent too at first, lol, but may just be the vibes. No, I am Asian. Cause so the story goes, I was born in the Philippines. I lived in the Philippines for 5 years. I remembered just a tiny little bit of the Philippines. Like my fondest memory was I was in front of my house. It was dark. I think it maybe was New Year, but there was definitely a festival happening. I was in front of my house with my family, and fireworks, started popping up in the distance. I played with a stick. Let me just find it real quick. So you had this. This is one of the brooms that is very popular in the Philippines, that everyone in the Philippines knows. Probably knows. I don't know if anybody in chat can confirm, if this is true or not. But this broom, I took a piece of, I don't know what it is actually. Like, is it a stick, thatch, I took a piece of this and I burned a little bit of the, what do you call it? I burned a little bit of the end. And when you burned a little bit of the end and it's dark, you can make shapes in, the air. Basically, you can draw shapes and they stay there for at least like 1 or 2 seconds. And I used to play with that. I drew shapes, a lot of it. And it was so much fun to play with. Like, it was a very, very nice memory. Like, the feel, the vibe of that memory, it was just amazing. That's all I can say. It was like nostalgic. Yeah, Child SHIRO is an arsonist. I got it. Yep. No, like fireworks in the background. I think slight muted music was playing. And since it's the Philippines, even when it's dark outside, it's very warm. Like, it felt warm. And it was like a nice embrace. That's one of the memories that I really enjoy. But for the most part, since I was only like 5 and, transferred from the Philippines to Belgium, I don't really remember all too much about it. So my memories there are a little bit jumbled. Yeah. So photography is gonna be like another side interest I'm gonna have. Just taking pictures of random things. I want art to be my main focus, I'm using photography just to learn composition, but I want my art to be the main focus. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up some analog drawings. Let's see, this one is from yesterday. Very big. Yesterday I did some gestures, some leg studies, trying to figure out what the landmarks are of the leg, how some of the clothing is shaped, and how I can draw clothing or any shapes with as little lines as possible. Here as well, here are some hand studies, watercolor. Here I tried to figure out, okay, so what is the motion of the hand? What is important in the hand? How can I draw this simple, but people can recognize it? I've learned a little bit. Usually now, if we want to draw a hand, I didn't loop my BGM. So usually now, if I'm drawing, I mark where the palm is, or like the wrist. I draw. Then you have this shape. Then you have overlapping. No, very rough, but get the idea. Like here, like this. This shape is very important. So then you can just add this. Then you can already see it's a hand. With watercolor, I try to do the shadow shapes first. So for example, if this is a pot, I'll try to combine the shadows with the dark places of the pot. You can already see the shape that's forming. And then combining random colors to see what effect it will give me. Basically just experimenting a lot. Still haven't gotten to practice hands. I'll follow along the SHIRO stream to learn. Yes, sir. Hands are so fun, only if you can get them right low. I've been trying to get into more traditional stuff too. Did acrylics a few days ago to hopefully improve my digital style too. Yep. Like I'm learning watercolor so that my grouping of the shadows becomes stronger. I want to develop my painter's eye is what they call it. And with this, for example, my interpretation of painter's eye is if we, for example, have a still life in front of us, we try and group all the same colors or all the same values together. So for example, this and the shadow. Maybe we can do this as well. Very rough, but you see, with only 2 values, you see the shape of what it's originally supposed to be. Like, you combine the shadow and all the same values you would see and simplify it into the shape. Blocking down shadows or colors in general has for sure gotta be one of my favorite things. Exactly. I've returned with food, time to nom and listen. Nom and listen, you will do, yes, yes. So I want to improve on this as well. That's why watercolor is something I want to get into. Yeah, my traditional art, I really like sketching in traditional art. On digital, it feels a little bit like unnatural. I can do it, but it feels way better on paper, I would say, traditionally. Okay. So the main focus of this week was gestures. Gestures because I want to improve on how I construct the body and also expand my knowledge on how to draw the arms, the legs, the torso, to make it easier for me to draw gestures, but also, you know, draw from my imagination just a little bit. Here, I really liked how I draw the leg. The shape of it is just like, ooh, that's nice. The arm here, amazing. I want to also look at the 3D shape. No. Like here, for example. Think more in 3D. And more about clothing. or more how to gesture stuff using the CSI lines. Want it to be more dynamic, you know. I'm using less lines. Use SciPaint tool for that traditional feel. I have not tried Sci. So after the many studies, what do you think you have improved on the most lately? I have improved on how to form the body, construction, the face, the eyes, the nose, mouth. That's what I've improved on a lot. I think what I'm lacking is feedback. Yes, I can give myself feedback, but it's also helpful if I can get feedback from another person's eyes and see what I can improve. We love the Zatsu. Yes, we love the Zatsu. Also for gestures, I think your construction is already good, but try to exaggerate the initial gesture line because it gets lost after construction, I find. I see. So more exaggeration. Okay. Let's try and do that, shall we? So let's see. Let's take this pose, for example. Let's say the action line is this. You have a clear right. Here you can feel that it's already dynamic because of this line. Let's see. And make these longer. maybe more exaggeration. Hello, Silver Comet. Welcome, welcome. It's 4 a.m. over here. I'm heading to bed. Your art are real cute. I hope to see more improvements in your art journey. Take care, Faye. Good night. Just recreate the gesture in a different intensity of exaggeration and experiment just for the heck of it. Hello, Otakin. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing good today, even though there was a lot of unlucky moments today. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from having a great day, you know? Gesture in a different intensity. So this is how I usually do it. So let's try and exaggerate some stuff, shall we? First off, this. Exaggerate like this. See, already moving the torso just a little bit to the side, improved it by a bunch. And the legs. Like this. Honestly, the pose is very nice. It captures more energy. Yes, exactly. Like, I usually never experiment like this, so maybe I should start and think about how to exaggerate some of the, you know, parts. Oh, go na SHIRO, good luck on the series. Take care, Yagi. Thank you for the feedback on how to improve my gestures. Very much appreciated. Yeah, this is definitely something I'll do more. Just exaggerating the gesture. Because I think that this can help improve what your focus is. And how to stylize certain stuff. And emphasize on what the energy is. So this is definitely very, very helpful. Also makes you think more about what you want to emphasize. What is it you want people to focus on? All right. And just like that, we have learned a new thing. Exaggeration already looks much better. Yeah. I'm honestly surprised. That's the thing. Exaggeration is how you communicate to the viewer or the person looking at your art. This is the kind of emotion I want you to feel. And it makes sense to the human brain. All right. Let's save this. Can do a little bit more. Like small feedback can be the game changer for you. It happened many times where I was like, oh, what do I need to change? Asked people for advice. Gave me the most simplest advice, but even the smallest things can change your entire perspective. Hello, MF Crossfire, welcome. I'm doing well. I just learned a new thing to do with my gestures, and that's exaggeration, as you can see. This is the non-exact. This is the exag. So I'm gonna do it to this one as well. They're quite well playing goose. I have this version. Now let's exaggerate stuff. You want to exaggerate the arc, I would say. There you go. Nice, I should do the same as night practices. I finish my art after weeks, time to rest the eyes for one day at least. True, true. Do you use one layer to do your sketches? Yes, I do. I usually do one sketch layer, one under layer for color, and that's it. And then I combine and then do the rest, experiment. Alright, but this technique definitely I'm gonna use more for my future art streams. and hopefully I can exaggerate in the future, you know, it's called, can just exaggerate the gesture from the beginning. Oops. Alrighty. I think I'm gonna end stream here. I'm probably gonna just have Zatsudan streams on Saturdays to review what I did in the week, art or interesting event. I think I will stream Zatsudans maybe at 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. Probably around those times. I'm not sure yet. But hopefully I'll see you guys next stream. Probably on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. My next focus is gonna be learning the landmarks of the arms, the legs, the torso, the face. Gotta improve on that. And yeah, thank you guys for coming. Otsushiro, Otsushiro, Otsushiro. For now, take care, have fun. Bye bye.